Well, the reason why I called you on, one, I needed a fucking guest, and it's Halloween, so I knew we wore this last year, thus explains our outfits. And two, we saw the Uzumaki, the 2024 anime.
Yeah.
The Adult Swim anime that was released, and it just finished like 2 weeks ago. What do you think about it? You were right there next to me the whole ride.
It was okay. Let me preface this because I'm gonna piss a lot of people off.
Break it down to me, man. Go ahead, give me it straight.
So after sitting with it, like for a few
we had
days,
like a week and a half.
So after sitting with it for like a week and a half, I ended up with a rating of 5 out of 10.
Damn.
My initial rating was 3 out of 10, simply because like I was left super disappointed.
I'm gonna take this fucking hat off, dude.
Yeah.
Nah, I should keep it.
It's up to you. Take the hat off, put the headphones on.
How do I look with the hat on?
You look pretty alright. I mean, I think your hat looks way better than how mine did. My shit looked awful.
Alright, go on. Keep going.
But yeah, I left off with a 5 out of 10 simply because like there were a lot of hiccups with the animation. The story was very, very all over the place. The animation in the first episode was good, and the
fantastic.
Dude, we were glazing.
How many times did I watch that first episode? I watched it at least like four times.
Yeah, because you were like, dude, this is sick. This is gonna be awesome.
The animation was incredible. It was eerie. Yeah, it was perfect for Halloween. Perfect for October. Perfect.
Yeah.
Then week 2 hit.
Oh man.
Episode 2 hit. Yeah, these motherfuckers were gliding. They were sliding down like a slide.
It was almost as bad as like the Blue Lock shit that's going on right now.
I don't even think Blue Lock's that bad.
We're gonna get into that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. But I don't know, dude. Like the animation really took me out.
Yeah.
The story was still compelling in the second episode. You scared me. What are you
No, I was worried you didn't click it, but
yeah, the story was still compelling in the second episode. It was just the animation that was so jarring. It was such a jarring drop from like the first one. The first one, I mean, in terms of animation,
that was peak, man.
TV animation.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was fantastic. I mean,
horror anime is peak.
It was peak for sure. But episode 2 was so jarring. I was like, whoa! It's like it literally took me out. I'm like, what happened? And apparently, they switched studios.
Yeah, I think that was the main thing. Is that the other studio was taking too long. So
it already had been 5 years though when they announced it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it was like, bro, people have been waiting this long for the anime. You think they wouldn't have waited a little longer for some high quality animation?
I didn't even know it was coming.
Me neither. I had heard of Junji Ito and Uzumaki before. I've heard of his works, and apparently this isn't even his best one.
Oh really?
Yeah, apparently he has way better stuff. But yeah, whenever it came down to this one, that second episode was very jarring. It took me out of it. I had to sit back and be like, dude, the way the mouths are moving are so like, it was literally like 2 frames. They were just
it almost like South Park.
It was like you know, in the Captain Underpants books, the Fliporamas. That's what that shit was basically.
Or like a bridge kind of.
Yeah, it was kind of
a bridge. Does it Dragon Ball Z?
Oh yeah. And I was just like, man, what are we doing here? I looked at it and genuinely thought, who the fuck animated this? Who okayed this?
That's my thing. Who okayed it? How did this clear anything?
And I feel like that's the main issue with the state of like animation studios, is that they're afraid to take their time with the works. When ultimately you're gonna get more sales and more hype if it's high quality. Yeah. Because if it's low quality, then you get a franchise like Seven Deadly Sins, where it was good, and then as soon as it went bad, that whole franchise went garbage can.
This was only 4 episodes, thankfully.
Thankfully, fuck.
It was only 4 episodes. Episode 1 was fantastic. Episode 2, the animation, like I said, took me out for sure.
It kind of like helped itself out.
The animation took me out for sure. I was still interested in the story. And then episode 3 came. And there's where me and you kind of started looking at each other like,
how are they going to wrap this up?
Are they going to stick the landing? What is the landing? What is going on?
Yeah,
like,
where is this going?
Where is this going at? Because it literally felt like, and I saw some people say that it should have been like 6 episodes instead of 4, or 10 episodes instead of 4 to really flesh out the story. But I don't know, man. Episode 3 came and I was kind of like, what? There was a shit with the babies, which was alright.
That was like gross.
That was like, yeah. I'm saying like for horror and stuff, it was pretty good.
Oh no, I'm like, I agree with you for the horror aspect. Oh my god, this shit was so gross. I was like sick to my stomach.
I can't remember if it was a step up from 2.
Yeah, two is very
Two's
plain.
probably the worst.
2 is the worst one. I think that's the one where at the end is that the lighthouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then 3 is like, what is 3?
3 is the hospital. The bitches drinking blood,
Yeah,
and also the babies going like ape shit.
They didn't really come back to it at all, huh? they didn't really come back to that.
It felt like a filler episode in a 4-episode anime.
They didn't really come like at all, did it?
No. It did not come around full circle.
They didn't really like. They didn't have nothing to do with episode 4.
Nah.
Episode 4 comes around, they're in fucking tunnels and shit. Or not
Bro,
tunnels, but they're in like.
Everything's broken down.
Yeah, by that point, everything's like broken down.
And it's like, how big of a time jump did we get?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm telling you. I felt like we were missing parts of this. Mm-hmm. I say that. you just informed me before we started recording that you actually read the manga.
Yeah, it's the same shit. It's literally the exact same shit. And you know what I had a big issue with, man?
So we didn't really miss out on anything.
Yeah. No. You know what I had a big issue with? The fact that like in the second episode, bro, come on, dog. Whenever I think everybody's like attached in one house or whatever. Oh no, is that the fourth episode?
Yeah.
Wait, which one is it where that motherfucker's all spiky and like he like spiky, you remember where like
oh, they're in the house.
They're in the
someone's
house
watching.
Yeah, and someone's like creeping up on everybody, and then he gets spikes all over his shit. And like at some point in the episode,
I can't remember if that was 2 or 3.
At some point in the episode, he becomes half a spring.
Oh yeah.
I remember watching this shit with you, and I was like, as soon as the motherfucker becomes half a spring, and he jumps at the main characters, and he's like, ah! As soon as I heard that shit,
that's when we knew. That's when we knew, bro.
I was like, this is that mid.
Because it was funny. Don't get me wrong. There's some moments that were legit funny.
Yeah.
Like in episode 1, what was it? When his dad's talking about, the beautiful spirals. And his naked ass is just swirling that motherfucker. That was funny, bro. That like legit made me laugh every time I watched it.
Yeah, there's some funny ass parts.
And then like when old girl like, which they never really explained this either. Now that I think about it, I forgot her fucking name. But she's on that the most notable one with her eye becomes a spiral.
Not her eye. It was like the mark in her.
Oh yeah, her mark. But it literally her eye was.
Oh
just
yeah,
like
her
there.
eye ends up like getting sucked in.
When after that, whenever his girlfriend comes up and he's hiding in a tree. That took me out too. I was like, "What is going on, bro?" Like,
it was.
There were some moments that were funny, like legit.
No, yeah, and I feel like in certain forms of media, there needs to be that. I mean, even in Berserk, there's that.
I think it worked here. I always think horror and comedy always go together.
Like, especially when it's done right, and in that aspect, I feel like it was done right. But the only problem I had was that it wasn't as scary as I thought it was gonna be.
No, I mean there was some like, no, it wasn't scary at all. Honestly, it was more like grotesque, gross humor, physical humor, kind of.
The body horror was good. I thought it was decent. I was like, I've seen worse, but I thought like, why is this so highly ranked as like a horror manga anime? That's a very good question. And a big issue I have,
because once I posted this on my story, and I was like, it begins or some stupid shit that I put. I was like, oh my god, like we're like starting the first episode, and everyone replied. A lot of people. Nikki replied. Shout out to Nikki. Excuse me. Some of my other friends and followers were just like, yo, you're gonna like it. This shit's so dope. This and that. Didn't like it.
Yeah, did not.
I gotta say, I didn't like. Overall, I was kind of like, wow, like. And then you telling me that the manga's the same.
It's the same shit.
Like so, like, oh man, so like prolonging this longer. To where it's 6 episodes or even 10. I mean, I would have been pissed off, bro. I'm low-key a little annoyed now because I'm like, what was that? Like, I legit was hyped every Saturday.
Yeah, no, I remember.
To watch it.
And then the third episode came around and you were like...
And then the third one came and I was kind of like, dude, they have one more. And my biggest complaint really with the show is they don't really explain anything. Like, at all. It's really just like, look at this creepy spiral shit. Look at this creepy spiral shit.
Every episode.
And then, like, at the end, they kind of explain it. Kind of, but not really.
They explain it, but I'm just like, that
it's
concept,
like a curse?
It's not a curse. It's something underground. That it's like a machine of some type. But it constantly, like, starts making spirals until... like the cycle that it goes through is like over and then it can start again. And I was just like,
a machine. That's what that was.
that's not what it was like. Literally nothing but like a spiral machine of like bodies. So I was like, what? Just looking at it, I was like, the fuck am I watching right now?
But again, that's what I want to ask you because like, I don't really know what to take with the show. Honestly, I don't understand why it's so well regarded.
That's what I'm saying. I think look,
in terms of, don't get me wrong, you read the manga, but like seeing it, the illustrations look crazy. Mm-hmm. It looks fucking awesome. Like the way it's drawn in the book, the way the first episode was, like the creative concepts there. I get it. It looks really, really dope. It's creative as fuck. That style is like, you could tell he's like influenced a lot of people with that.
Yeah.
Storyline though, story wise,
yeah,
I ain't getting much from it, honestly.
No,
I don't know what kind of commentary is there or what, but it's just not.
Like, is there a deeper meaning here? Am I too dumb?
I don't think there is, bro. And if there is, please let us know because I really would want to know like what you guys took from this because I didn't really take much from it, man. Honestly, other than like shock, certain things that like
certain things had me like
oh shit,
yeah. But I was like, is that all there is to the show? And I felt the same way reading the manga. Because
when did you read it? So what happened?
I read it like 2 or 3 days ago. It was a short read. Wasn't that long. There's like one big difference. The main dude is black. No, I'm just kidding.
What the fuck, bro? What's wrong with you, man?
No, but what's it called? No, but
Tony Hinch over here.
No, that was the shit that I was telling you about. That I was gonna say to see how you reacted. Jesus Christ. But not.
No, we're not live, bro.
Who gives a fuck? What's it called? It's not like I said anything bad. But
yeah.
anyways, yeah, the manga was like super basic. It was like 1-for-1 almost.
It kind of pisses me off, man. Honestly.
Yeah, that's why when people are like they're like, man, that anime was trash, but the manga's good though. I'm like, bro, it's like 1-to-1. The source material's bad. So to speak. I mean, artistically, of course, Junji Ito is one of the greatest, like, horror in terms of visual aspect, in terms of drawing his emotions, his pictures.
Not even say creatively.
Creatively, it's like
creative, but it's just like in terms of a story.
Yeah,
I'm going down to like
all around.
Yeah. That really is like, I don't know. It felt like it was lacking. I don't really understand like even his dad. Like, what was up with his dad? I understand them sending.
The main guy?
I remember them sending like spirals. I get it. Apparently, it's a machine, a faceless machine, which is stupid as fuck. But like, why did his dad go crazy all of a sudden? I don't understand. Like,
this is like, why did he randomly?
Was that more his dad? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying, or what was that? You know what I'm saying? Even what about the slug people?
That shit was ridiculous. That shit was ridiculous, man.
Like, what was that, dude?
Fucking, I don't know.
How did that become that? You know what I'm sayan? Like, I guess on their backs, that's like
that was fucking gross, man. I mean, the teacher who ends up becoming a slug, spoiler alert for all those fuckers. I mean, if you watch it, doesn't really fucking matter. But the teacher is voiced by my boy Jonah Scott. And he like squashes some like slug eggs or whatever, and then he becomes a slug.
Yeah, I don't know what they were trying to say with it. How did that happen?
Yeah, and then her brother becomes a slug, and they're like, "We're gonna come back for you." They don't come back for him, by the way. Spoiler alert, motherfucker.
For all we know, he's still roaming around.
Now he gone, man.
You think so?
Because if you look at the end, the spiral resets like everything.
Oh, so by that point he's probably dead.
Yeah, and then the town gets rebuilt, and the bitch and the dude are reborn. And it's like,
bitch, dude, Jesus.
They're both bitches, if I'm being honest. The boyfriend, especially, he's the biggest bitch. Let me keep it real. These characters are fucking garbage. In the first episode, they're like,
the only one I really cared for was the girl. I'll be honest with you. The dude, I was kind of like,
girl, like,
yeah, but the dude, like, I felt bad because of his dad. I was like, wow, his dad just lost his mind completely, and like made himself become a spiral.
Yeah.
Which again was shocking, kinda.
It was shocking, but I think it was also because the animation was so good. I was like,
whoa.
I was like, damn, that's a really good adaptation.
And then the stuff with his mom was pretty interesting, but like her cutting off her, that was brutal. I gotta be honest with you, that was like the only brutal shit in the show. She cut off her fingertips because it was like what? It had spirals on them, right? Her thumbprint or whatever.
Her fingerprints had spirals, and like anything spiral related on her body,
like set her off.
Yeah, it would set her off.
So that part was compelling. But by the 4th episode, I'm just kind of like, what? And again, I wish I didn't know how many episodes it was.
Yeah.
Because knowing how many it was really threw me off. Because I was just kind of like, this is it.
Yeah, how are they going to end this?
This is the last episode. What are they going to do? How are they going to explain this?
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like a 2-minute scene, kind of.
Yeah, it was like the very last 2 or 3 minutes.
Fuck that, dude.
That was whack.
That was whack, bro.
That was really whack.
And then they just formed like the other fucking couple did.
Yeah. But
I'm like, why didn't you do that from the jump then, bro?
That's what I'm saying. Like, and she's like, I don't know. I don't know if I can fight anymore. It's like, bitch, if you don't get your ass up and start trying to figure this shit out, so y'all
that's
can
what
escape.
I'm saying, dude. I honestly, that's the ending I would have preferred. Even if the episode 2 animation was shitty, episode 3 was whatever, episode 1 was fire. Going into episode 4, if somehow, but we'd have more time though. We need more time.
I feel like how they could have ended off season 1 to make it more interesting if you want to go away from the source material, because in the source material it's the same shit. But if
they didn't really dive in too deep, then it's the same thing.
No, it's the same thing, bro. It's just they do the exact same shit where they just get twisted up and it's like, okay, and then they get reborn again. But the main issue was like, I feel like at the end you could have had her like be the only one to escape this curse,
mm-hmm.
and like maybe she goes to like figure out some other shit. Maybe if they're all tied into the same universe, she can dive into other things by Junji Ito or some shit. She can be like a reoccurring character in some type of way. But I think this was screwed from the start, in my opinion.
Okay.
Simply because people hyped this manga up so much.
There was a lot of hype, man.
Without realizing that the story was not good.
There was a lot of hype to it, and like I said, I was very excited to watch it. I was like, what is this?
Yeah, you're telling me. I was like, okay, cool. This animation is like sick. I was low-key scared to watch it.
You know, you really like horror movies.
I don't like horror shit, man. I don't like that shit. You showed me Terrifier. I was like...
Yeah, bro. Well, look, it could get in one today. We could watch Terrifier too,
nope,
bro.
Not gonna happen.
Why not?
No, sir. Loki, we could get into that in terms of talking about it. I got a lot to say about it.
It's a good movie. We could watch. We could talk about it later. But back to Uzumaki.
Yeah, 5 out of 10. I don't even.
Well, you're going on about something right now. What the source material was like from the jump? It was screwed from the start.
It was screwed from the start, bro. The source material was bad. People didn't want to recognize that. I understand liking it for the art. That's cool, but
visually, it's incredible.
But don't you? Yeah, visually it's incredible. But don't you?
Well, I can't even say about the anime though. Just episode 1's incredible.
Yeah, episode 1 is
episode
like the best
4
one.
was passable though.
Episode 4 was good.
It was straight.
But it wasn't. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't the same as the rotoscoped, like drawn over
wild.
animation.
That was wild.
Like, bro, this shit. This like anime, no good.
I really just want to call it a waste of time, but that seems so disrespectful. But at the same time, it's kind of how I feel.
Yeah,
I do feel like I just kind of wasted my time. I was like, I really could have just like read this.
Yeah, everything past the first episode, I felt like I watched 3 episodes of the same shit. The same thing.
Yeah,
like, it's a spiral.
People freaking out about spirals, and there's really no plot progression.
Yeah, there's also no conclusion to any of these.
There's no plot progression. It's really just like even old girl that like had her scar that became a spiral.
Yeah, she's gone.
Then she absorbs homeboy, and then she absorbs herself.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd they go?
This is what I'm saying. You don't dive into that. You don't dive into this. But I think it's ultimately because I don't think Junji Ito does it for that.
He's more on the art, more on the shock.
More on the art, the like drawing it as like emotions illustrated, which is cool. But I'm going to tell you as it is. I'm going to tell you straight up. The source material was bad. There's no story there. And honestly, even the horror elements were lacking. I expected something insane. And what you gave me was like kind of okay. I've seen worse. I've seen way worse. Like, honestly, fucking School Days is one of the most horrific shit, and that's like not even... I would say that's a worse anime than this one, but it has way better shock value.
I mean, Berserk to me is like peak horror kind of shit when it comes to anime. I don't really read a lot of it, or I read other stuff than that. But like Berserk to me is like some horrific shit.
Mm-hmm. I mean, in terms of shock value,
some brutal stuff in that like anime. That I'm just like, whoa, that just seems like creepy, almost creepiness. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna cut this part out of the podcast to like as like a review of the show. Are we tripping? I mean, please, I would love someone in the comments. I welcome all comments to like just let us know what we might be missing.
Yeah.
Because I meant to look up articles about like I mean, it's always on the list. We look up top 10s. We looked up top 5s. And it's always there in terms of horror
it's
anime,
number 2.
horror manga rather.
Yeah, the only one that was ranked higher than it was PTSD Radio on like most of the things that I've seen. And honestly, after hearing the backstory of that shit, I was like, yeah, that shit sounds creepy as fuck. But
I just wonder why it's so well regarded though.
Yeah, I don't understand the Uzumaki shit. I feel like I said, I don't even think it's his scariest work. I think he's made way better horror than that. Like Tommy, I feel like that's another one. I feel like it's a way better just horror manga than this will ever be.
Why do you think this one hit? Because I did see it was like a big young adult book. You think that's what it was? Oh, why?
I know why. It's because, look, we've all been teenagers at one point. Some of us edgier than others.
I mean, you just turned 21, bro.
I just turned 21. I barely became a grown adult. But whenever I was a teen, I would have loved this shit. I would have been like, holy shit, this is like the best thing I've ever seen.
I don't know if I would have, man, honestly.
Simply because like of the gore and the horror, and I was like an edgy teen, so it was like,
Reading it, I think would have been better than me watching it. To be honest
sure,
with you. Me watching for it, but I still would have came to the same conclusion. Like, what the fuck was that?
I would have been like, this shit is so silly, man.
It was silly. Certain things were like pretty silly,
but it was okay. 5 out of 10 isn't an awful score. It could be way worse.
I haven't even thought about putting a number to it, but if I had to, it'd be like a 6.
I think that's fair.
6.5 maybe. Because like I said, there are creative things, and even like the animation, even in the shitty episodes, there's still aspects of it that I enjoy. But story-wise, you're not getting anything from it. There's no like, dude, there's totally no like, there's nothing there, bro.
I try to find ways to compliment it.
There's like nothing there in terms of like you're not gonna feel fulfilled at all.
No.
Plus, we spoiled it earlier, but they ended on like a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Kinda.
I mean, you're just
kind of like knowing that this is gonna happen again.
Yeah, it's revealed that like it's a cycle, and I'm just like,
there's like you said, they're reborn, which honestly, like, it just means me like it leaves me with more questions than answers.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, are they gonna like? Is his dad in that world like freaking out too? Is his dad like what was he? Like a scientist or some shit like that? What the fuck was his dad?
I don't even remember what he was.
His dad was like a professor, I think. I really don't know, but
all I know is that motherfucker dead. That's all I know.
What I'm saying is the reborn version of him gonna like, is his dad gonna freak out? Is it gonna be the same thing? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And at what point does it end though?
That's what I'm saying. This shit has to have an ending in some way.
There has to be some ending to it, like.
It's not infinity, bro. Don't tell me that. That's boring.
Also, what about like outside sources?
That's what I'm saying. They had the Navy at the end, and I'm just like
outside governments, outside like state, or you know what I'm saying, places, countries.
That's what I'm saying. This would be like something analyzed over and over and over and over again.
Yeah. And
also in the first episode, Shawty and Homeboy are like, "What if we leave this town?" I'm just like, why didn't you?
Let me ask you this. It doesn't even fucking even me asking you this, like. I don't even want to ask you this, but I'm asking you this.
What is it?
Because it's like diving into like, what if they would have left? Because we saw, right? By episode 4, they're all fucked. They're trying to leave, but they're going in circles and stuff. They keep running into the other group.
Yeah.
In episode 1, let's say they decided to leave. Fuck it. Would they have been down the same path? Would they have eventually just came back? Would they have been able to leave or no?
Yeah, I honestly.
Also, it gives me other questions like, how the fuck do they import everything? Where's their food coming from?
That's what I'm saying. If you can't fucking go out, if you can't leave, how's anything coming in? Everybody would fucking die.
Taking flights.
Yeah, it's like what?
I mean, it looked like an old show, kinda, but I don't know.
I mean, there's a fucking train, bro. There's a train that goes through the city, so it's like, what are we doing here? There's so many fucking like.
Also, what's with the sirens? Did they ever explain that?
Don't even get me started.
I hate that siren.
Going into detail of this fucking show is ridiculous.
It's really like pointless. That's gonna do it for the review, guys. Like and subscribe.